Goodbye Z Fold 4. Hello, Z Fold 5. So if you haven't been paying attention, the Z Fold 5 is available today. You can go walk into T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, Best Buy, pretty much wherever that sells major phones, and you can buy one. So no longer the pre-order deals. Hopefully you got it while they were on, so you could have saved some money. I'm sure there will be more deals later. But right now, well, it's time to say goodbye to the Z Fold 4. It's been out for a year. It's been a very serviceable phone, and I gotta say, the Z Fold 4 has been the first of the Samsung Z Fold phones that I've really bought in on. Like, I really invested in it as part of my daily usage. Like, when the first Z Fold came out, I'm like, all right, this is cool. Front screen's mostly useless. It kind of evolved a little bit. The second one was a lot better, but it didn't have an S Pen, so it was kind of frustrating. The third one I used quite a bit, but then I got the 4, and I'm like, man, this is it. Like, this is the best version they've made so far. I really am loving the S Pen, and well, it just became part of my daily usage. It replaced my tablet usage completely. So what am I expecting now with the Z Fold 5? Well, I have it, and there have been a couple different upgrades. And I think it's funny the way I've been talking about this, like the last day I was trying to explain it to my wife. I'm like, the Z Fold 5 is like the Z Fold 4, but it went to a fitness camp over the summer, shredded 15 pounds, got faster, got stronger, and it came back a little bit thinner. And that's probably the best way I can talk about it. I mean, it shaved off 10 grams. And it's funny, you see all these videos, everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's so much lighter. It feels so much lighter. And I will say it does feel lighter, but it's only 10 grams lighter. It's not like it's a pound lighter. It's not like it's 5 ounces lighter. I don't even know if the human hand is so finely calibrated it can actually tell the difference between 10 grams or not. I mean, I know they shaved down some on the stylus, they shaved down some on the case, and they probably changed a couple other things, but I will say, though, it does feel lighter. It feels thinner. It feels lighter. Honestly, this new case, I don't know what this plastic is made out of. Maybe it just needs to wear in. It's not as grippy as a Z Fold 4 case, so I've almost dropped it a few times. So be careful with that. We've got the new S Pen. The S Pen also went to fitness camp. It's like new year, new me, I guess. Hot stylist summer. So you've got the S Pen from last year, and this is the S Pen this year. Like, there's a significant difference. Basically, it's like half the size in thickness, and it's just skinny. It just feels like an oversized popsicle stick, right? And just so I can clarify something real quick, I had somebody that was angry in the comments, and they're like, how come nobody told me that these stylus for these Z Folds don't have like the air gestures and all that crazy support? Like, you can't use it as a remote shutter for your camera. That's not how these work. Now you can go buy the S Pen Pro, and you can use that with your Z Fold, and then you can get those functions. But when you're talking about that stuff, that's exclusive to like the S23 Ultra, S22 Ultra stylus. You can do all the air gestures, and you can like press and hold on the little button, and it'll activate your camera. You can double press it, it'll flip around to the other camera. Like, you can't do all that stuff. Basically, it's just a glorified writing utensil that comes with the case. It doesn't really do a whole lot. So, just so you know. Now, so they changed that up. The case they changed up. The case they made more expensive. It's $100. Like last year, I guess it was 90. Now it's 100. Whatever. Like, Samsung will find any way they can to charge you more money. There's still no charger in the box, so I'm sorry about that. I know some people are still upset about that. I am. I mean, if it costs $1,799, a sucker should come with a charger in the box, I feel. But hey, that's just me. Call me crazy. So, new things. They put the new processor under the hood, the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, as opposed to the 8 Plus Generation 1 in the Z Fold 4. I mean, it does feel maybe a little snappier. I don't know how much of that's the placebo effect. Plus, it's brand new. It doesn't have a year worth of my baggage on the phone that could be slowing it down. So new phones always feel a little bit faster. Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, it has UFS 4.0. And if you don't know what that is, that's the storage that's on here. It's faster. It's the newer model. It's like twice as fast and uses like half as much electricity or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it's better and it's faster, right? And you can tell that. Like, it installs stuff a little bit faster. It feels like it accesses and opens apps maybe a smidgen faster. They shaved down on the hinge a little bit. The hinge now, when you close the phone, it sets flush. Now, you can't see it on this phone because the case is on it, but there's actually like a little gap in here, and they did that. That's one of the reasons why the Z Fold 4 case is so bulky, so you can't see that gap that's in there. Let me go ahead and take this off, just so you can see for your own personal edification. So, taking off my case. So yeah, Z Fold 4, but out. Yeah, you like how they do that? They put the case on there, and it seals up this gap so you can't see it. Shenanigans. So that's not there anymore. This one, I have the case on here, but I assure you, it closed that up. Now the hinge is nicer. Like it's nice. It is very, very fluid all the way till about right here. And then it kind of pops just a little bit. Not really a whole lot of spring tension there. One thing that I am appreciative of, so as you use the Z Fold over time, it has these plastic, these TPU screen protectors. Listen to this. Maybe you heard that on the monitor, on the microphone. Yeah, they get like this kind of gritty, like plasticky sound whenever it opens up. That happens over time with the Z Folds. I don't know why. It just has to do with, I guess, the plastic screen protector that's been on there for forever. This one doesn't do it. And it probably won't for about 6 months or so. But hey, go ahead and get the screen protector replaced after a while. If it starts doing it, you'll be good to go again. So the screen is brighter. It's the exact same size. Like it's the same under the screen camera. It's the same basically everything. But now the peak brightness will go up to 1750 nits when you're on auto brightness when you're outside. That's cool. I didn't really feel like it was not bright, but hey, now it's brighter outside, so you've got that going for you. And price is still the same, $17.99. They had some fantastic deals. They had the $1,000 trade-in credit, 30% off on the insurance. They had the free double your storage upgrade. That stuff's gone now. Now, I'm sure it'll come back probably around Black Friday, holiday shopping here in the US, around Thanksgiving. That's when they like to do all their sales. So I'm kind of figuring around then, maybe when the iPhone drops, they might do some sales. Like that's the thing. Now that the phones are out, they will try to kind of balance their sales competitively also off of when new phones launch so they can try and get people to buy their phone instead of the other new phone, right? I fully expect to see a sale when the OnePlus foldable phone comes out later on this year. So yeah, that's kind of, there's not like a whole lot that's really changed here. And does it need to? I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like the form factor is kind of settled now. It's really kind of just a generational upgrade. They just tweaked a couple of things here and there. They've got the nightography now. They've got better processing for nighttime photos, which is basically what it is. And I got to say, I went to a concert last night with my son. I'm not much of a concert goer, but we went to this Peso Pluma concert that my son wanted to go to, and I took some nighttime photos, and I gotta say, like low light, it actually turned out pretty good. Like I was really, really surprised with how well that it actually looked in there with the lighting, and it handles some stuff really well. I mean, look, that's inside a dark concert with a bunch of lighting. So I will say that's for real. And it's funny because I don't have my Pixel Fold on me, but I took some photos with my Pixel Fold. I've had some people say the Pixel Fold's not as good at nighttime low light photography, and it's true. The Z Fold 5 takes better low light photos. So right there at you Google. So yeah, I've been using the Z Folds. This is the 5th generation now. They've been out for a while. And of course, I still get 3 years of operating system updates, 5 years of security patches. I saw that the One UI 6 beta started rolling out in certain areas yesterday. Android 14 is imminent. Android 14 will probably be coming out before the end of the month on the Pixel phones. That means it'll probably be out on the Samsung phones probably within a month after that. They're pretty quick about it. And of course, Samsung, they give you 4 years of operating system updates, 5 years of security patches, which is pretty nice. So you get plenty of support out of these things. It should last you a long time. I'm still going through the paces with the battery. I haven't had it quite 5 days yet, so I'm waiting for the adaptive battery to kick in. Battery seems okay so far, but I'm not going to really understand how good it is until the adaptive battery kicks in and I know, okay, it knows what to shut off, it knows what to run in the background, what it knows not to, and then I'll be able to see what it gets. The big comparison here, how much more battery life does it get over the Z Fold 4? How much more battery life does it get over the Pixel Fold? And the biggest thing for me, standby time. So the Z Fold 4, when you were using it, it didn't have terrible battery life. I could get about 5.5 hours screen on time out of it. But if you use it for more than a day, it would have battery drain. Like it would just, the battery, whatever was going on the phone, it didn't have good standby time. So that would get to it. It was good for like a day, but the battery would kind of dwindle over throughout the day. It didn't really have a whole lot of heat issues, but overall, I fully expect the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2 that's in this phone to have better battery. Why? Because I've tested it out thoroughly in other phones like the S23 Ultra. Battery life should be better, especially with that new UFS 4.0. I think it should be good. If you've been wanting to get one of these things, of course, yes, this is the best and the brightest that's out there in the United States. Don't pay attention to China. Don't pay attention to Europe. You know, they've got the Honor with the V2, VS2 coming out. They've got Huawei and their Mate X3. They've got Xiaomi and their new Fold, the Mi Mix Fold or Mi something that's coming out in a couple of weeks. They have some pretty exciting stuff over there. But that's not the United States. They don't get the same level of support. They have issues when it comes to the bands. The software just quite isn't the same. Like, I think One UI is probably the best software experience out of foldables. And I think it's certainly the best at multitasking here in the United States, especially compared to Google. Google did not go into the Pixel Fold with multitasking and productivity in mind. That's why we get the stylus you can get with the Z Fold 5 if you want it. And also, you can have it to like 4 active windows open at once. So they really are built around the idea of productivity, kind of a tablet replacement, tablet on the go, and also a big screen for media and things like that. So I think there is a lot that's there. And I think that Samsung's done a good job here, of course. And maybe one of these days the price will come down. Maybe we'll get the stylus in their next go around. There's a lot of rumors, right? And it's one of those things where you really have to balance it. Someone asked me, should I wait for the 6? I heard that it's going to have the S Pen inside of it. Well, that's all conjecture. That's rumor. We've been hearing that the stylus might be in it for like 2 years now. I'll believe it when I see it. So somebody had asked me, they said, hey, my employer's going to get me a phone. They'll get me a Z Fold 5 for free, but I'm worried about maybe next year the Fold 6 might have the stylus on board. I'm like, look, if your employer right now is going to get you a phone, get it. Like, you might not be employed next year. I mean, I don't want to be like gloomy or anything, but I mean, just reality. You don't know what's going to happen in a year, and we certainly don't know what's going to happen with Samsung in a year. Get the best that you can that you're happy with at the time. And also, I had another person to ask me, can you make a video showing us how to remove, basically, how to put stock Android on the Z Fold? The whole point of the Z Fold is to get One UI and the Samsung experience. If you want stock Android, go with the Google Pixel Fold. And also, a lot of the stuff that's on here for multitasking that takes advantage of the benefits of having this foldable phone, it has, like, it's built around One UI. Like, if you take One UI off of here, stuff is not going to work right. So yeah, I don't know why you would want to get a Samsung phone and then un-Samsung it. That's like the argument before someone's like, oh, I'm going to buy a Pixel phone and then de-Google it. Why would you de-Google a Pixel phone that's made by Google? Like, I just don't understand that. But anyway, so I've done a lot of rabbit trails on this conversation. I had a lot of good times with the Fold 4 over the last year. And, I mean, some of you will miss it. I like to get the new stuff whenever it comes out. Some of me will miss it a little bit. It was a good phone. The Z Fold 4 was the first one that I really bought into, and I'm like, all right, this is going in my pocket pretty much every day, and I plan on continuing that here. And it's actually interesting. I'm using the Z Fold 5 and the Pixel Fold right now, so I will have a video about that in the next couple of days where like really compare them, contrast them, and show you all, okay, which one is best, which one's best for you, and all that stuff. And there's been a lot of hate on the Pixel Fold. Like, I know that I really was not happy about the fact that it costs $1,800. I think it's overpriced. I do. I don't like that it has a Tensor G2 in it. But when I hear complaints where people are like, oh, the screen on the inside is unusable. Oh my gosh. Really? Really? No, the front screen on the inside is not like, there's just some crazy things that people will make up in their mind to not like the phone. And that's the thing. I don't care if you like the phone. If you don't like the phone, don't buy it. I'm not a salesman. Buy whatever you want. Go out and buy a 3-year-old Motorola V60. I mean, LG V60. I don't care. I'm just trying to give you the information that you need to make a decision if you decide that you want to get one, or to know if the phone is any good based off my experience. Yeah, I'm sorry you don't like the phone because you find the interior screen unusable. I don't know what to tell you. So that's all I've got in this video. It's been a good time. I got to send the Z Fold 4 back. I got to send this back to Samsung. Actually, no, I'm not sending it back to Samsung. I forgot. I'm giving this one to my son. And he had an S22 Ultra, and I'm like, well, if we trade in your S22 Ultra, they're going to give us $1,000. And if we trade in the Z Fold 4, they're going to give us $1,000. So he's like, well, I'd rather have the Z Fold 4 than the S22 Ultra. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll trade in the S22 Ultra. So he's going to get the Z Fold 4. Maybe at some point in time, 6 months down the road, I might come back and reevaluate it. But it's been a good year. And also, just some food for thought. If you want to get the Z Fold 4, save a tremendous amount of money, go to Amazon, get an Amazon Renewed, go to eBay, get one refurbished with a 1-year warranty. That might be a really good idea because it's a fantastic phone and there's so few meaningful upgrades in the Z Fold 5 over the Z Fold 4. It might be worthwhile. So that's all I got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, of course, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you found this helpful, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.